Hey everyone, I'm Fernanda, or you could just call me Chimmy. It is now 2026, so Happy New Year everyone! As a way to celebrate the new year, I thought it'd be fun to do a 2025 digital sketchbook tour, just taking a look at all the art I did the year before. Although technically I won't be showing everything I drew, just the finished pieces or the ones that at least have color, cause if I were to show every single doodle and sketch I did, that would take forever. I'm going to be showing the drawings in order from January to December, but to be honest, I don't know how accurately I organized it. They should be close enough though. All of these are mainly going to consist of my OCs and some fan art here and there, so I hope you look forward to that. Starting off in January, we have Daphne art. She was literally created on January 1st, and so the art on these first few days are all of her. In my story, she's the most popular girl in school who ends up passing away and is trying to figure out how she died. But in this universe, when someone becomes a ghost, they have no memories of their past life. You can see in one of the drawings that I was still experimenting with her ghost form, where I was just going to have her wear a casual outfit. But that wasn't until I drew her in a cheerleading uniform and became attached to it. I also drew a doodle of her yapping on and on to Damien, who finds it very annoying. Damien is one of the few people that can see her since he has the ability to see ghosts. Then I made a TikTok of her because I thought the audio suited her. It would definitely be something she'd say, but I really don't like the drawings I did for this. Especially the last one. I don't know, I just feel like the proportions are all off. But I was still in a Daphne mood and found an audio I thought matched her dynamic with Damien and Nova. Realistically, Damien would never confess to her that he has a crush on him, but she'd already suspect it. And once she finds out, she'd definitely tease him about it. These next drawings were part of a TikTok trend that was going around. There was a filter on there that would make an emoji out of your name, and so I did that with my OCs Melanie, Nova, and Damien. Melanie's expression fits her character well since although she is very friendly, she also has quite the attitude and gets annoyed easily. Nova's looks weird to me and so does Damien. I don't really draw him smiling so genuinely, and so this feels weird to see. After that, I drew some of my OCs Genterbent. I was supposed to do all of them but eventually stopped after Damien. I don't remember why though, but I'd definitely love to revisit these designs again. This next drawing is based on a meme that was going around Twitter at the time. I thought it matched Melanie, Nova, and Damien's dynamic, and so I wanted to draw them as the meme. I had a lot of fun drawing this one, and I'm still really proud of it. The next batch of drawings are my redesigns of Rebecca, Vivi, and Shirahoshi from One Piece. I'm actually still really happy with how all of these turned out. Maybe I changed a few things here and there, but nothing too drastic. The video in which I redesigned them was my first official art commentary style video, and so part of me cringes listening back to it because you can clearly hear how nervous I was. But at the same time, that just shows how far I've come. Then Valentine's Day came and Weej had come out. Well, technically I think it's pronounced Vega, but this whole time I thought it was Weej. But anyways, this is about a series on YouTube called Alien Stage. Each episode has a song to it and usually takes a while to come out. And so when the most recent episode had come out on Valentine's Day, I was so crushed by it and made a TikTok depicting my feelings. What a great way to celebrate Valentine's Day. This TikTok was the first proper introduction of my OC's lore before I did a video explaining it. I'm still super happy with this one and was so surprised to see how well it did on YouTube. It made me really happy to know that people cared and wanted to learn more about my OCs. I was on such an OC mood that then I did a TikTok kind of explaining the differences between Ghost Daphne and Alive Daphne's personalities. Since ghosts lose their memories of their past life, that's why Ghost Daphne is way more cheerful and optimistic than when she was alive. That doesn't stop her sassy personality from coming out at times though. After that was my drawing in 5 different art styles challenge video with Melanie. The art styles I chose for this video were Total Drama, My Little Pony, One Piece, Cookie Run, and The Owl House. This was my first time attempting to draw an art style that wasn't mine, and I think I was able to capture the art styles pretty accurately if I do say so myself. Next we have Genterbent, Nova, and Damien. I don't know, I just felt like drawing some Yuri that day. I really like this one, although if I were to draw them now, I'd probably update Nova's design. And here's when I made my quote-unquote OC reference sheets. Well, technically they weren't meant to be reference sheets, but anytime I mention them, I'll usually use these pictures. It started off as just a drawing of Melanie, but I really liked the format of it and ended up doing it for the rest of my OCs. During this time though, I only made one for Melanie, Nova, and Damien since those 3 along with Daphne are pretty much the main characters. By the way, Nova and Melanie are twins who also have abilities just like Damien. Nova has the ability to copy anyone's appearance and ability, while Melanie has the ability to manipulate her hair. Then began my Cookie Run Kingdom phase. Black Forest Cookie and Wedding Cake Cookie had just been released and I loved their designs so much that I had to draw them. I really love the way these two look together. Plus, I was so surprised to learn that Black Forest Cookie is voiced by Chelsea from Dead Meat. Oh my gosh, I love their videos and so that was crazy to me. Next is some fan art I did of Kai's Corner's OC, Rosie. It was so hard choosing from her OCs because they're all so dang cute, but I'm a sucker for Gyaru fashion and so I chose her. I'd love to do her magical girl form one day though. And here's just a simple doodle of Melanie with her natural hair color. Fun fact, but at first Nova and Melanie's hair color was originally going to be blonde and Nova was the one to dye it. But then I eventually switched it because I thought Melanie being the one to dye her hair made the most sense. Then after that, I wanted to draw her with her natural hair color again, and so I drew her and Nova as little kids. Which then led me to drawing the rest of my characters as kids too. They're just all so cute, oh my gosh! I rarely draw kids and had a lot of fun with it, but I still feel like I need practice. And here are the rest of my OC's reference sheets where I did Nadine, Jackson, and Daphne. Nadine and Jackson serve more as side characters in the beginning of the story since they aren't aware of the main trio's abilities, but will play a bigger role as the plot goes on. Jackson has been Nova's best friend since they were kids and also has a huge crush on Melanie. Nadine is Damien's stepsister, and like I mentioned earlier, Daphne's the most popular girl in school who wasn't the nicest, ends up passing away, but for this drawing, I drew her while she was still alive. Next are my gingerbread designs for the Straw Hat Pirates. These are ones I'm still really proud of. I had a lot of fun drawing them and need to draw them again. I think this is actually one of the last times I drew One Piece. My OCs ended up taking over my mind. But I miss them. I miss my Sheilas. This one's a short comic I did based on a meme I've seen online. I thought it matched my OCs and so I wanted to put them in it. Looking at it now, I'm not too proud of it, but the meme itself is still funny. Then I drew a new profile picture for myself. I ended up not liking it though, and so I changed it pretty quickly. Next is a challenge I did with an IRL friend of mine called the Cheekies, where we each picked an OC and made a design of them mixed together. I chose Daphne and she chose her OC Arius. Also, if you want to check out her stuff, you should 100,000% follow her on TikTok because both her OCs and stories are so scrumptious. Now these next few drawings are from when I drew my subscribers' OCs to celebrate reaching 10k. I chose 10 of them and would definitely love to do it again sometime. I just love learning about other people's OCs. I was thinking of doing it for 30k, but the start of the spring semester is coming up, so I don't know if I'd have time to do it. Maybe after I get adjusted to it though, because it was a lot of fun. And we're back into my Cookie Run Kingdom phase with these next few drawings where I turned my OCs into cookies. I still really love these and think that they all look so cute. I need to do some of Sam and Hana though, since at the time these drawings were made, they weren't created yet. Then I drew Nova and Jackson to a TikTok audio I found. Technically in the main story, Nova doesn't know about Jackson's crush on Melanie, but he definitely has his suspicions. Right after that, we have my human designs for Gingerbrave, Carrot Cookie, Parfait Cookie, and Shining Glitter Cookie. I said I was going to do a part 2 to that video, but ended up losing motivation. I still love these drawings though. Then July came, which meant that art fight started. It was my first year participating and I had a blast. I did a video talking about my experience but only showed the attacks I did. So now you can see all the revenges I did too. I think this is the most I've ever drawn in a month, but I'd definitely do it again and can't wait for this year's art fight. Plus I'll have Sam and Hana who I can add now. Hopefully by then I'll have proper reference sheets for my OCs. I technically drew this one in between art fight, but to keep things organized I'm showing it after. This was art I did of myself holding chibi versions of my OCs as a sort of birthday gift to myself. This was also my profile picture for quite a while right before the one I have now. Next is a meme I found on Twitter that I drew Daphne over. The moment I saw this, it just screamed Daphne. This is something she would definitely post if she had TikTok. This is also a drawing I did while art fight was going on, but I just had to draw it. The inspiration hit. Then I found this audio that comes from the series Dead Boy Detectives, which I think is on Netflix. I've never watched it before, but once I heard this audio, it just screamed my OCs. Nadine isn't aware that Damien can see ghosts, but if she did, this is something she'd definitely tell him. This one's a drawing I did for the no hands trend that was going around on TikTok. Now that I look at it now, it's not the best tweening ever, but it was my first time so I can't be too hard on myself. Plus, it was a nice excuse to draw Nova and Damien, and so I'm not mad about it. In this drawing, I wanted to sort of show Daphne, Nova, and Damien's dynamic in the beginning of the story. Although Daphne is very happy to know that people can see her, she quickly realizes it's not all that great since a majority of the time she's with Nova and Damien, they're arguing with each other. I really like this drawing but feel like I could have done better on the background. Then I did a TikTok to the song This Hurts of Daphne because I thought the lyrics were pretty relevant to her. I sadly can't play this song on here because of copyright, but if you want to hear it, you can see it on my TikTok or here on YouTube as a shorts. But basically, the premise of the song is that although Daphne has everything, she still doesn't feel satisfied with herself. I love all the drawings I did for this one, and I was supposed to do more of this song, but halfway through, I started losing motivation. I do like what I have done though. And next is just a quick doodle of a meme that was going around. The premise is basically a character confessing a dark secret they've been keeping, but the people they're telling this to think they're coming out. I thought this was funny and thought it suited Damien. And here we have Sam and Hannah's debut. Sam is in the football team and is Nadine's ex-boyfriend, while Hannah is one of the people that was closest to Daphne while she was alive. I'd definitely love to go more in depth with them, but it's kinda hard since I don't want to spoil too much. I do have a video planned that's centered around Hannah though, so I'm very excited about that. Next we have some alien stage chibis I drew to make as keychains. I drew Mizi, Sua, Till, and Ivan. At my university we have student markets that take place each semester, and so I wanted to sell alien stage keychains. I sadly didn't have enough time to do Luca and Hyuna though. But along with those, I also made an Eternal Sugar Cookie sticker to sell too. This was originally a drawing I did in my sketchbook that I decided to draw digitally. Then I did a part 2 to my drawing in different art styles video, but instead of only doing 5 with Melanie, I did 10 of them with Daphne. I first drew her in my art style, then Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, Five Nights at Freddy's High School, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, Dark Diaries, My Little Pony Equestria Girls, 2000 Scene, Monster High, and finally Friday Night Funkin'. Just like in the other video, I had a lot of fun doing this and have really been wanting to do another part. But instead of doing art styles from medias like movies and anime, I was thinking of maybe trying it in other artists and YouTubers' art styles. I don't know, let me know if that'd be something you're interested in. You'd think that after all of those Daphne drawings that I'd get sick of drawing her, but no, because then I made this drawing of her and Hannah. I got this post from Pinterest and thought it matched their vibe. Hannah is definitely the more cheerful one out of the two, while Daphne's not afraid to show her nasty side. During this time, the bacon avocado audio was trending, and so I did it with my OCs. Melanie isn't the biggest fan of Nova and Damien being together, and so I thought this matched them perfectly. She grows to accept it later on though, don't worry. She just doesn't like the fact that Damien's wrapping Nova up into all this ghost stuff and thinks that it'd be better for them not to get too close. Then I was trying to get a really good idea on their designs and what they'd look like next to each other, but I never finished and only did these 4. I'll probably do an updated version though, since I really need proper references of them. And here we have chibi designs of all of my OCs. Well, except for Sam and Hannah, but I have sketches of them. I just haven't gotten around to finishing them. I used the Damien design to get turned into a keychain and would love to get them all turned into some too. I would decorate my bags full of them. Then I did my Winx Club redesign videos. Technically, these are redesigns of the reboot though, not the original series since I love those. I watched a bit of the reboot and wasn't the biggest fan, and so I drew Bloom, Stella, Flora, Tekna, Musa, Aisha, and a bonus Diaspro since I think they did her so dirty in the reboot. I had so much fun redesigning these characters, you have no idea, and oh my gosh, do I love their designs. I just think they all look great and I really feel like I peaked with these. This one's based on a picture from Pinterest I found. It was originally supposed to be a mock-up concept of a potential cover for Out of the Norm, but it turned out alright. I don't know, I just think the characters feel kind of stiff. I don't hate it, but I'm also not the biggest fan of it. I feel like I could have done better. This next one is also one I don't really like. I was trying a new style, something more cartoony, but I don't think I executed it very well. I do like the concept though. Damon isn't the biggest fan of Sam since he and Nadine broke up. There's more to it of course, but I don't want to spoil it just yet. Honestly though, at this point I'm considering giving y'all some more bits of lore cause I need to yap about them. And then October came, which is when I participated and finished my first Cringetober for the first time. It's basically Inktober but cringified. This was quite the challenge, but regardless, I'm really proud of myself for even finishing this. I've always been bad at month-long challenges, and so I was surprised that I was actually able to go through with this. There are some drawings I like more than others, but I'm proud either way. Who knows if I'll attempt it again though, cause like I said, it was a challenge. But if you want to know more about that, you can check out the video I did on it since I go more in depth about each drawing I did during this month. This drawing was technically made during October, but again, to keep things organized, I'm putting it after. I just felt like drawing some Melanie and Jackson. They're so precious to me. The context behind this is that some guys were bothering Melanie and getting a bit too touchy with her. Jackson saw this and tried defending her, although he got beat up in the process. He thinks he totally embarrassed himself, but Melanie thought it was really sweet of him. Oh, they're so cute. This video was also somehow done during October, but I just really wanted an excuse to tween. I saw Fajita's video and really wanted to draw Daphne with this audio too. This is definitely an improvement from my first attempt at tweening, and I had so much fun doing this, and I am really proud of it. And apparently a lot of people liked it too, cause it did absolutely amazing on both TikTok and YouTube, so thank you so much for that. 1 million views is crazy. Next I was still in my Jackson phase and drew Nova giving him a haircut when they were younger. I don't think I mentioned this in my lore video, but Jackson is actually trans. I was going to keep it a secret and make it some dramatic reveal to the audience, but now I don't think it's necessary. He's just a trans guy. But this would take place after he'd tell Nova that he wishes he had short hair. His parents won't allow that though, so Nova takes it upon himself to give him the haircut. And although it's not the best, Jackson loves it. This one was my attempt at practicing poses. I don't remember where I got the reference from, but it's most likely from Pinterest. I'll insert the photo if I find it. I really like the way the pose turned out, but I hate Damien's hair. I don't know, I just think this doesn't look like him. His hair has always been something I struggled with. Next was my first attempt at animating. This is a fun experience, and even though it was hard, I like the results. Although looking back at it now, I can definitely see some areas I could have done better on. But hey, it was my first time and I hope to improve. Plus I got a lot of great advice and tips in the comments, so thank you. And here's the full drawing of my current profile picture. I had just given my persona a slight redesign, and so I wanted a new profile picture to go along with it. This one's a drawing I did for the IRL friend of mine I mentioned earlier, Cheekies. It was her birthday, and so I made a drawing of her OC Arias holding a mini her. Again, go check out her stuff, it's amazing. This was my attempt at experimenting how my characters would look throughout the years. I did it with Damien and Nova, which made me realize that I don't know how to draw older characters. I feel like they didn't change that much, and so that's something I'd like to get better at. The same goes for little kids. I struggle at drawing both. But regardless, it was still fun to do. The reason for these designs was actually because I wanted to work on a comic which would show older versions of them. Which is this one. This was actually my first proper attempt at making a comic. The only past experience I've had with it was probably with the summoning ghost one I showed earlier, and so I was really excited about this one. Despite being mistaken for a girl multiple times, Nova actually likes his long hair and only trims it a few times. It usually goes well, but in this case, the hairdresser thinks to herself that since Nova's a guy, that he surely means more than a trim. He ends up hating it though, but won't say anything since he doesn't want to sound rude. Once he gets home though, he explodes and rants to Damien about it. Also, yes, they are dating by this time. A lot of people were happy about that, and hey, so was I. As much as I like drawing them bickering and annoying each other, I love drawing them being cute and affectionate even more. Like I mentioned, this takes place after the events of the main story come to an end, and so they're probably around their early 20s or something. I don't think I captured it that well though, but that's okay. Next are my Yandere Simulator redesigns of Ayano and Osana. Although I didn't change all that much, I'm still happy with these designs and of the small rewrite I wrote. Plus, I was so surprised to see that a lot of people enjoyed that video and wanted a part 2, which I am considering doing in the future. And then December came, which is when the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out. This made me want to draw human designs of the 4 main animatronics. I did Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. Along with these designs, I also made a sort of AU, which again, I'm pretty proud of. So for these drawings, I was going through a bit of an art block. And so to help, I decided to draw some silly doodles of my OCs that I referenced from Pinterest. Nadine's is definitely my favorite, she just looks so cute. I love Melanie's face though, she looks so smug. This short animation was a TikTok trend where you'd make a slideshow of drawings that by swiping left and right would show an animated dance. I drew Melanie for it, and if you want to try out the swiping feature for yourself, you should definitely check out my TikTok or Instagram. Then I wanted to do a winter-themed drawing for the holidays. I chose to draw Sam and Nadine for this because I've been thinking a lot about them lately. Also, I don't know if it's very obvious, but I wanted it to look like a Polaroid photo. Hopefully you can tell, but if not, I won't blame you. I love the coloring I did for this one though. And here's just a drawing I did of Nova and Damien lounging around together. Like I said earlier, as much as I like drawing them being annoyed with each other, I love drawing them being cute with each other even more. This would probably be after they get together. And after that, I thought I was drawing too many cute moments, and so I decided to draw some angst with Sam and Nadine. This is just a rough idea on how I imagined their breakup would go. Nadine's the one who would bring it up, and although Sam doesn't want to, well, neither of them do, he accepts it anyways and they decide to stay friends. Although they still have feelings for each other, but it's complicated. But after that, I wanted to go back to cute moments, and so then I drew a Nova and Damien kiss. I actually don't draw people kissing often. I think this is like my first proper attempt at trying it, and it's not even a full kiss, it's just a cheek one. But that's okay, cause they're still really cute. I do want to practice drawing more of them though. I feel like in their relationship, Nova would be the one to make the first move. I made a comic based on a meme during 2024 depicting Damien as the more forward one in their relationship, but if I were to redraw it now, the roles would 100% be switched. This was a test where I drew all of my OC's eyes. I've actually tried this before but only had like 4 OCs at the time, and so I thought I'd do an updated version. Honestly, these may not be super consistent at times since I do change their eyes a bit, but overall this is their default eye designs. This is a lot of fun and a great experiment to really try and differentiate their eyes more. And then for my last drawing of the year, I drew the aftermath of a potential Nova and Damien kiss. Nadine would be one of the first people Damien tells this to, but he'd definitely try to hide it as long as he can before spilling the beans to her. It's definitely around 3 in the morning though, and so Nadine is barely functioning. I started doing these small comic style panels around the last week of December, and I definitely want to do more in 2026. But wait, here's a bonus TikTok I forgot about. I made a TikTok to this song What the World Needs from the musical Ride the Cyclone. I did it in May but completely forgot to put it in there, and so I'm just putting it here. I remember getting this done pretty quickly. All the drawings for this were done in one go, and so it took about less than a day, I think. I could just imagine Daphne singing this and really wanted to draw it. I actually haven't listened to the whole Ride the Cyclone musical, only a few songs, but I really want to because it just seems so interesting. And that's all the completed art I did during 2025. It felt really nostalgic looking back at these, but at the same time, it brings me joy to see how far I've come. I'd like to continue doing this each year, and so I thought it'd be fun to make a little art-related New Year's resolution for myself, mainly consisting of things I'd like to improve on. First on my list is drawing more older and younger characters. Next, I want to do more traditional art. I'd also like to improve on anatomy and backgrounds more. I want to do more OC comics and hopefully complete their story. I don't mean that by having their story fully drawn or anything, just at least getting the plot figured out in my head. And lastly, I want to try animating more. So let's see if by next year I've accomplished these. Hopefully I will. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and deciding to stick with me. I also want to take this moment to thank you guys so much for the fan art I've received. You guys are so talented, it's insane. Thank you so much. I already have some videos planned out, so hopefully you look forward to those. And as always, I hope you have a great day.